There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, jobsmake.com, in partnership with Ateneo, Career Center, and Alumni Hub, brings you Marketing Week. We are live at Ateneo de Davao University. So, today we will be joined by speakers from VXI Global Holdings and Optum Global Solutions. So, before we start, we will invite everybody for a short prayer.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below.
All right, so welcome guys. So are we ready? I'm Shari from Academic Linkages. Hope that everybody's excited to learn new things today. So to officially start today's session, may we invite Mr. Norman Lou Espadilla, RGC, Career Center Officer for Ateneo Career Center and Alumni Hub of Ateneo de Davao University. So Sir Norman, if you're there, please join us. Hi sir, good afternoon. Ayan. Sir, you're on mute.
Yes.
Nakabit lang kayo.
Okay.
Ayan.
Yes.
Ayan, sir. Sir, I'll give the floor to you so you can officially open our session po for this afternoon.
All right. Thank you very much, Sherry. So, greetings, everyone. So, I am Norman De Padilla, and I'm the head of the Ateneo Career Center and Alumni Hub. So, first, I would like to welcome you all to this webinar entitled Marketing Me Live. This webinar is brought to you by the Ateneo Career Center and Alumni Hub and the College Guidance Center in partnership with jobs180.com. So, this pandemic, as we know, has changed everything, and most especially, it has changed a lot in the world of work. With emphasis now on doing everything online due to the ongoing restrictions, it has changed how careers are made, how companies and employers hire, and most of all, how we do our work. And this is why we're having this webinar now. This is to help our students and our alumni to be able to adjust to this new normal and to develop new skills that will help them to be more employable at this time. And this is also why we invited jobs180.com, as they are at the forefront of this new normal. With their online resume platform, Resume Link, they are one of the leaders and pioneers of this move to online career development and training. Their expertise on the matter and that of their own partners will prove invaluable in helping us develop the skills you need at this time. So I'd like to thank everyone for attending this webinar, despite that this being your exam week. So it shows your commitment towards improving yourselves and in continuing to develop your skills. So I hope that you will have a meaningful and enlightening afternoon through this webinar. So good afternoon once again, and ad maiorem Dei Gloriam.
Thank you for that, Sir Norman. Ayan. So, guys, we are ready. So, we hope that you're here with us na, no, this afternoon. So, we'd like to know where you're from. So, can you please just put in the comment section your courses? So, kung ano yung courses niya siya, kung saan school kayo nanggaling. If you're watching from Ateneo, put Ateneo de Davao dyan. Alright? So, don't forget to share this video to your friends. Maybe more some of them might find it useful. So for you guys, here's our schedule for this afternoon. So we will be first discussing online applications. So that will be discussed by jobs180.com. Next, we will be doing virtual interviews. And last topic is new normal work environment. Ayan. So shout out to everybody who is here. So again, please comment your courses and your school. If you're from Ateneo de Davao, please put in Ateneo de Davao dyan. Alright? So our first speaker is Sir Kim Chua. He is the managing director of jobs180.com. He has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. So he is a trusted resource speaker and has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. Ayan. So Sir Kim, the floor is yours. Take it away po.
Everyone, allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. No? Not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan na tinatawag nating resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume to, meron akong checklist. So go with me, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number 1, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mo mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have one file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala itong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat, this should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay, more than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely, wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-send. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, mayroon kang kapangalan, okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot. Pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo. Gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos o kaya Santos J o kaya JS o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay? Wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw ay makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So, sayang lang. So, you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpletong detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-login. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo, kayo lang may alam yan, at lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kina-account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman, pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So, you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay? Lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot, lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. 'Diba? Kasi takot kayo baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis tayo makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no, switch, on, off, switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Hindi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or ano mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag-door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay? So walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating mo sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gano'ng karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So, hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So, if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakaabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So, you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, com arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-tourism at pang-HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa 2 lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo na yung 2. Kung 2 lang talaga alam nyo, din 2 lang. Ano tong 2 to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Chabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have, kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. No, ilagay mo sa loob ng resume link. Just transfer them here inside the resume link para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma. Diba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga, hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, di ba? Certificate, diploma, yan, ebidensya yan. Okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, di ba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede ka mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teachers, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay, ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So, kung di mo type yung sagot, i-delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course, wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda example yan. Okay? So, huwag kayo maglagay ng ganun kasi mga sample na profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes! A picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-isulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Yung sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Diba? Halimbawa, o sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But now, the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologies, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So, depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, ito. Itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So, I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member na Akit Bahay Gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So, kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayo magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamala ko yung mga aplikante, pinakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. O, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Diba? So you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan. Blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo tsaka oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang gano'n na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So sa mga personality nyo. Alam niyo na anong dapat yung gawin at hindi yung dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything from top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So, bakit ko sinabi sa inyo na napapabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay rin ng HR napapabilis because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo attention, gusto ka niya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Di ba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Diba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills or sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design? Diba? Gets mo ibig ko sabihin? Huwag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pag nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pagprocess sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, Sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real-time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila, real-time. As in real-time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun. No? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo attention, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So, better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details na updated. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So, you're now thinking, okay to paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, huwag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nagsubmit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala na pabalik-balik. Hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year. Ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala na ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position and this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to you from you soon. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan eh. Ang kulit, saka nakapagod. Ano gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo, update-update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page para tipid na. O, di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Ito ang gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No, maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante na ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Diba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, this day and age, technology na gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang. Huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number 1, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secured na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganun. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data, pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Di ba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi o makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O di ba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pa mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So shout out na ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo, especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool. Please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs on AD, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it. Enter, save it. Real-time update. Lahat ng bigyan mo ng resume link updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing, edi balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, di wala nangyari. Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com, or email us, email me, here sa info@jobs180.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chu Wa. Don't forget yung Wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo na nagsasabing, be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Alright, so thank you for that, Sir Kim. Ayan. So, hi, sir. Thank you for the talk. Ayan, sir. So, guys, the floor is now open for questions. So, if you have questions for Sir Kim, so now is the time to put it in our comment section. So, habang nag-aantay tayo ng question nila, sir, meron akong pinrepare dito na question. So, sir,
Hi, Ma'am
matanong mo
Shari.
lang po.
Na-off yata yung camera mo. Na-off yata.
Viewable naman ako, sir. Nakikita ko naman sarili ko, sir.
Okay, okay.
Sige, sir, magtatanong na ako, sir,
Yes,
Okay.
go ahead.
Sir, pag nag-apply po ako sa using jobs180.com, using my resume link, sino po yung magsiset ng interview sa akin?
Ang magsaset ng interview normally are the companies who will be interested to move forward your application. Kasi after you create your profile, expect mo na maraming mga companies ang makakakita ng profile mo. Pag nag-apply kayo pag hindi kayo nag-apply, edi walang makakita ng information nyo. No? So when you submit your information and nahuli mo attention ng mga HR, those HR will definitely move forward to be inviting you for the next steps. Now, if you have all the information present, like what I've recommended, if you created your selfie video, diba, you show your skills at yung mga iba pang mga things sa tingin mo, unahan mo na kagad. Kumbaga kung sa tingin mo, tatanungin sa'yo sa interview, tell me something about yourself, gawin mo na yung video na yan. If sa tingin mo, tatanungin ka ng mga what are the skills that you have that other applicants don't, or what are your edge, diba? What are the advantages of being an Atenean, diba, compared to other graduates. Halimbawa lang, you might as well make that assumption and do that video. It will simplify yung process ng HR. Kasi pag nakita nila to, di ba, imbis na paano kaya to kausapin? Kumusta kaya tong aplikante to? Kung nakita nila mukhang bibong-bibo na at okay na, then baka the next step na is to proceed na with the job offer. Baka ganun na yung mangyari. Di ba? So yun yung recommend ko. Yeah? Unahan mo na. Lagay mo na dyan lahat.
So, thank you for that, sir. All right, guys, I was told I have no video on.
No camera.
So really sorry for that. I don't know what happened, pero I'll fix it later. All right. So
Di
for
bale,
now,
brown out lang siguro dyan. Brown out.
for my second question, sir. So sure, baka guys na wala kayo itatanong. So ako muna magtatanong, ha? So for my second question, sir, how fast do companies how fast bago makita ni company, sir, yung application ko? So do they get alerted every time na magsisend ako ng application? Tapos kung nagbago isip ko, sir, pwede ko bang i-delete yung application ko kung na-submit ko na po?
Yes, thank you for that question, Ma'am Shari. Yung companies will be alerted when you submitted your information through their email. In short, they will be alerted that someone applied for that specific position. Now, how fast will they react? I cannot answer those companies. I'm hoping that they don't have any reason to prolong your application when they see that you applied to the position and they think that you're already qualified by the onset of looking at your profile pa lang. The next thing you expect is your phone ringing. That's at least how I imagine it to be. No, your phone be ringing. Perhaps you don't know who's calling, so you better answer it. Diba? Sagutin nyo. And then entertain. Baka yan yung company nakakita o nakatanggap ng application na sinabit niyo. Now, this is very fast in terms of kung real time lang. Real time talaga yan. It's very fast. Because when they submit their information, companies receive it. Diba? Immediately, they receive it, they call you. Diba? Kinausap mo, usap na kayo, di next step na kaagad. Ganon siya. Diba?
Alright, sige sir, thank you po. Ayan. Ayan, so, okay. So guys, if you're shy to ask questions, you can send it over sa facebook.com/jobson80. So our customer support team will be there to answer your queries. Okay? So for that, Sir Kim, we'd like to thank you and we hope to have you again in future sessions po. Thank you, Sir Kim.
Apply lang apply. Apply lang apply. Okay? Be safe. Be safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Ayan. So for our second speaker, so let's go to our second presenter. So our second presenter is Miss Denise Estomata. She is the Talent Acquisition Officer for VXI Global. And wait lang, sir. Sorry. Ayan. Okay. So our second presenter is Miss Denise Estomata. She is a talent acquisition officer for VXI Global, and she has almost 7 years of in-depth recruitment experience, and she's a part of the hiring and selection unit of VXI talent acquisition team, handling recruitment for Felcrease Central, the company's biggest site in Davao. So as a recruitment officer, she's in charge of overseeing the end-to-end process and making sure that targets are met by everyone in the team. Ayan. So Miss Denise, if you're there, please join us po in our stream.
Hello.
Hi, Miss Denise. Ayan.
Hi.
So, ma'am, you're
Afternoon.
in Davao. You're in Davao site po right
Yes.
now.
In
Ayan.
Felcrease,
So,
yes.
saktong-sakto, ma'am, because our audience today are students of Ateneo de Davao University. So, ma'am, they are on asynchronous classes. This means that hindi man po nila ma-watch to, they can rewatch it. They can rewatch the event on their own convenient time. Ayan. So, ayun. Ma'am. So, can we try sharing your screen po for the meantime?
Yeah, sure.
Ayan.
Hold on.
So, sige, Miss Maria Adora Rogon, we'll get to your question later. So, for now, we'll just have to, si Miss Denise po na muna magpe-present. Ayan, sige ma'am. Ayan, loading na siya ma'am.
Okay. Alright.
Ayan. So, ma'am, please put it on full screen. Ayan. And, right now po, kita ko na po kayo and audible naman po. So, ma'am, take it away. I will be back for the, question and answer portion in a bit. You have
Alright.
20 minutes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon once again. So, my name is Denise Estomata, just to repeat that again. So, I'm here to discuss the resume writing, power dressing, and some interview tips that could help you when it comes to like acing the interview and getting your dream job in the future. So, let's start with the resume writing. So for resume writing, you might be wondering what is a resume. So resume, I believe it was somehow discussed to you earlier by the first speaker. So resume is usually a 1 to 2, it's a 1 to 2 pages document that usually presents your overall job experience or the personal information or anything about you. It's usually used for job application. Now, you might be wondering what is the difference between a resume and a curriculum vitae. So, a resume, as I've mentioned earlier, it's a usual 1 to 2 pages document, usually used for job application, while a curriculum vitae on the other hand is like it's more of like an in-depth view of your resume. It's more detailed comparing to the usual resume. uh, Curriculum vitae usually have 5 to 10 pages because, as I've mentioned earlier, it's an in-depth view. So you could, the assessors or the recruiters could normally see um, the exact experience that you've had on different companies or skills that you've gained when you were still studying if you don't have any experience. And it also contains the awards as well as the recognitions or seminars that you've encountered when you were still studying. So that's more of the difference between the resume and curriculum vitae. It's like more of the difference lies in the length as well as the content of both of the documents. Third is what to include in your resume. Of course, the first thing to include in your resume would be your personal information. So, um, in like to discuss my view as a recruiter, I normally prefer, of course, seeing the full name of the applicant, the contact information, the mobile number, email address, as well as the home address, and for the date of birth as well as the gender or the what do you call this one, the marital status. I seldom don't really look into that further because I like in the line of business that I have, I normally avoid biases when it comes to the age, the marital status, as well as the gender. So it's an optional thing for you to include in your resume. And of course, aside from your personal information, it should contain your skills, the work experiences you've had, if you have any. If you don't have, then your educational background, including your seminars, the seminars you've attended, your on-the-job training, the awards and recognitions that you've received in college. So that's more or less the things that you normally include in a resume. References are also optional because when you get into the job, we are like um, interviewers or recruiters would normally ask for your updated references because that's usually used for background investigation. So you could just leave that one out in your resume. Next is what to leave off your resume. Of course, you already know the things to include in your resume. And what are the things to leave off your resume? Now, one common thing that you need to like skip including in your resume would be example skills. This is a common um, thing that applicants include in their resume. It's like, I'm proficient in Microsoft Excel. When you try to include skills, you have to make sure that you have the enough know-how or you are confident enough to discuss that certain skill if in case the interviewer would ask you questions about it. Now, if you include there you're proficient in Microsoft Excel and then the assessor would ask you what are the basic Excel formulas that you know, and you won't be able to answer the question, then that's already a minus point in your interview. So, as much as possible, limit the skills based on like what you really have. So, you don't need to overdo your resume. So, again, make sure that you have the enough know how for you to discuss the skills that you have. Aside from the those types of skill set, you could also leave off including um, awards, like say for example, top one in Mobile Legends. That's something to be proud of, but if it's not directly related to the exact position that you're applying for, then it's best to leave that one off. Okay, so those are the common things to leave off your resume. Now, fifth in the resume writing would be how long should a resume? As I've mentioned earlier, it's a 1 to 2, a typical 1 to 2 pages document. Preferably as an interviewer, I normally um, look into resumes with 1 page alone because most of the time I prefer candidates who do more of the talking instead of the resume speaking for that certain candidate. So if you could limit the resume to 1 page where the assessor or the recruiter could see everything there, then that would be better. But again, you could make it to a maximum of 2 pages. Okay. Next is how to format a resume. So I believe it has been partly discussed to you by the first speaker. The easiest way, by the way, to format a resume would be to download certain applications through the internet. You have to make use of the internet because it's like creating a resume right now is not like the same as my experience 8 years before. So I think right now it's very easy to download resumes online, and then you could just simply personalize it, customize it, or edit it depending on what you want to include or what you don't want to include in your resume. It's up to you how or what format you would like to use, but I guess it would be best if you could try to also research the common resumes that most candidates use and those resumes that are somehow appealing to different companies. So you could just easily um, search that one via the internet. Okay, so I guess that's more of the resume writing. Let me proceed with the power dressing. So for power dressing, first is you have to research the company's culture and dress code. Why do you need to research the company's culture and dress code? So aside from, of course, you wanted to get to know the company or you wanted to get to know the culture of that certain company. you would want to, of course, match the dress code or the dress that you would be wearing when you go through the interview. One good example of this one would be, say, for example, you're applying for um, a position in the bank. So banks usually require corporate attire when you go through interviews. So of course you have to wear the formal attire where you need to wear coat, or you need to like look um very formal. On the other hand, like say for example, BPO companies like VXI, we don't really much require our candidates to have that formal look. We would actually accept casual, or the best look that you could make, like present yourself during the interview. So that's why before you decide to choose what to wear during the interview, it's very important that you research something about the company first. Okay, that would also be helpful so that you won't like overdress yourself when you go through a certain interview and then the company doesn't really require you to wear the corporate attire. um if the company would require you to wear one, then they would usually tell you ahead of time, like they would send you a text message to like asking you to wear corporate attire prior to the interview. Okay. Now, next is invest in power outfit. Why do you need to invest in power outfit? Power outfit is like more of um, it's more of about presenting yourself, like exhibiting confidence. Okay, when you if I'm not sure if you know this one already, but once you wear something that looks good in you, it usually improves your confidence. It makes you feel good about yourself, and everything would follow. So that's actually one important thing that you need to bring with you when you go through a certain interview. You have to be confident, or you have to bring confidence with you so that you would be able to properly express yourself, and you would be able to um, discuss things about yourself without minding anything. It's like you would be directed to your goal when you have confidence. So it would really be best if you invest in power outfit. Next is wear appropriate and comfortable shoes. When you invest in a power outfit, it would always include um how comfortable you are when it comes to wearing that certain outfit. Most of the time we have a lot of beautiful outfit on mind, or you have a lot of um, stuff that you want to include in your outfit, but it's sometimes like, you have to always check your expectations, because sometimes it's expectations versus reality. So you have to make sure that you're comfortable enough. Try to check yourself first if you could like confidently wear that certain cloth, and then um, make yourself comfortable. If you're not comfortable enough, then better change it. Okay. Next is try out your interview outfit. As I've mentioned earlier, you have to be comfortable with your interview outfit. So for you to be comfortable with it, you have to try it first, so that you'll be able to check if it's big enough or small enough, or if it fits you correctly, or if you're comfortable enough in wearing high heels, you could walk well, or you're confident enough to wear it. If you're in doubt with the interview outfit, when you look at yourself in the mirror, then better not wear it. You change it. Um, Choose the best outfit that would match your mood as well, and your personality. Okay. Five is don't over accessorize. Now, investing in power outfit is not the focus of the limelight during your interview. It's just a plus point for you. You should be able to focus your skill set during the interview. So when it comes to wearing accessories, you don't need to overdo it, because the formal attire looks good already. So wearing earrings, like the simple ones, would already complete your entire outfit. Okay. Six is you groom yourself. So of course, if you're not the type of person who, for like for women, if you don't if you're not the type of person who usually wear makeup, then when you're going through an interview, you have to think twice. You have to at least wear powder just for you not to look too pale, or lipstick, I guess. And when it comes to the hair, you have to fix it. If you're worried about how you would be able to do that, you could try to ask help from your friends, ask help from professionals, or you could try to include it in your preparation prior to the interview. Like you watch YouTube tutorials on like how to put on makeup, the natural look, or whatever that could help you when it comes to preparing yourself on how to like groom yourself prior to the interview and make yourself look presentable. So I guess that's more of the power dressing. Let me now proceed with the interview tips. So for the interview tips, first here would be open your mouth more when speaking. So it's when it comes to talking during the interview, you have to be more conversant. You have to articulate the words well so that you would be comprehensible, or the interviewer would understand clearly what you're trying to say. Aside from that one, you have to like talk as if you're conversing with a friend. You have to um, emphasize your point. You don't have to go around in circles. Just be yourself. If you need to clarify things, then do so. Just don't pretend as if you're somebody else, because again, interviews are not meant to be perfect. But of course, you have to really try your best to at least be able to express yourself well. Okay, so next is practice speaking in front of the mirror. So it's when you practice speaking in front of the mirror, you would be able to correct your posture. It's like more of projecting confidence. How you would be able to project confidence. So if you look at yourself in the mirror, you would be able to check how often do you smile, how 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 do you look when it comes to, or when you deliver what you're trying to say, or when you discuss something about yourself. So it helps you prepare yourself during the interview, and it also like allow you to imagine how would you be able to express positivity during the interview process. Third is listen to yourself speak. So you have to listen to yourself speak, like as simple as recording yourself, because when you listen to yourself speak, you would be able to you call this one, you would be able to correct yourself if there are grammatical inaccuracies. You would also be able to check if you're talking too fast. You would be able to check your conversational speech rate, and of course, you would be able to hear yourself talk, and you would be able to check if you are comprehensible enough while you're talking, or while you're telling something about yourself. So that's the importance of listening to yourself speak. Next is you read more. Why do you need to read more? Aside from, of course, you wanted to get to know more of the company, or the type of position that you're applying for, you need to also like widen your vocabulary, or you you could try to like get some tips on some of the basic interview questions that you might be able to encounter during the interview process. So that's the purpose of reading more. Next is watch English programs. Why do you need to watch more English programs? Of course, as I've mentioned earlier, you have to learn how to articulate words, or how to pronounce words correctly. So watching English programs would help you observe how they deliver their thoughts, or how they provide, or like put more emphasis by simply pausing, or with how they manage their intonation. So that's mainly the common help that English programs provide. So it's better that you expose yourself prior to the interview process as well. Next is improve your listening skills. Why is it important to improve your listening skills? Um, Most of the time, candidates already have the idea in mind, or they are already good at responding. However, some candidates do not um, know how to actively listen to the question. That's why they sometimes won't be able to provide the appropriate or the direct answer to the question. So try to improve more on the certain area. And one more thing, most of the non-positive feedbacks that we get from clients do not usually involve grammatical errors from our agents with VXI Global. It's more of the comprehension and active listening. Agents don't usually understand what the customer is trying to convey. So in your case, guys, you have to make sure that you listen carefully to the question so that you would be able to respond directly. Or if you really missed out the question, you could at least clarify it by paraphrasing um, the question limited to what you were able to understand instead of directly asking the interviewer to repeat the question for you. Okay. And then lastly, don't be afraid to make mistakes. As I've mentioned earlier, interviews are not meant to be perfect. If you need to clarify something, then go ahead. There's a better way to clarify things. Like as I've mentioned as well, you if you haven't understood the question, then you could paraphrase it so to make it look as if you heard the question. It's just that you wanted to clarify if you got the point correctly. So that's um, the main point of paraphrasing the question. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. The first interview is usually the hardest, but trust me, you'll definitely improve from time to time. You just have to work on um, the things that you would need to improve, and of course, you have to take note of the tips that I was able to mention earlier. Okay, so that's more of the interview tips. Now, how do you ace the interview? So there are actually three factors that would help you ace the interview. First is the body language. Next would be the words, and then the voice. Now, for body language, it's actually 55% of the message that you send. Body language should always exude positivity. How do you exude positivity? As simple as smiling from time to time or nodding. It's like you're agreeing to the interview or to a certain point during the interview process. It's already one way for you to exude positivity. What else? For the words, selection of words is very important. For this one, you don't need to make use of jargons and highfalutin words because the goal here is to make use of simple words. If you know advanced words, then that would be a plus point because it would show how wide your vocabulary is. Um, if you can't, if you prefer using advanced words, then go ahead. Just make sure that you avoid words like jargons, highfalutin words, or words that like intensifiers. This is what you call intensifiers. You don't need intensifiers for you to prove your point. So the simpler, the better. Okay. And then don't use a certain word multiple times. Why do you need not to make use of one word multiple times? Redundancy or like multiple words used during the interview is somehow equivalent to fillers like ams and all. I'm not saying that you really avoid the fillers because we are native speakers, but at least you could like um, minimize it during the interview. Okay. And then, of course, use positive phrasing. Now, during interviews, it's unavoidable that interviewers would ask you questions like, what are your, if they would ask you questions about your strengths, they would definitely ask you questions about your weaknesses. Now, for weaknesses, it's okay that you discuss minor weaknesses that you have because, of course, we're not perfect. We definitely have things to improve at. But you have to keep in mind that you have to make sure you back up it with something positive. Like say for example, you mentioned that you're struggling in this certain area. You have to discuss how are how were you able to cope up with that certain um weakness that you have, or how are or what are the things that you're doing for you to improve on that certain weakness that you have. That's how you do positive phrasing. You say something negative and then you back up it with something positive. It's like, I'm like this, but I'm doing this and that. Okay, so make sure that you expound more on the things that you're currently doing for you to improve on that certain area. And then for the voice, gain attention by changing your volume, use emphasis and inflection to convey interest. So you have to be dynamic when it comes to like using dynamic when it comes to your voice. You have to articulate well, and as like from time to time there should be dramatic pauses. What do you mean by dramatic pauses? It's like you pause to emphasize a certain point during the interview, or a certain experience that you've had before. That way there would be that's you would be able to like manage your intonation, as well as how you provide animation, or how you prove your assertiveness. But of course, when you do that one, you have to make sure that you don't sound overbearing. Okay, so that's more of how you ace the interview. Now, just to like do a quick recap on the things that you have to remember when you ready yourself for a certain application. First here would be research the organization. Again, you have to get to know the organization that you wanted to be in, because it would also like prove your interest with the company. Second is analyze the job description and requirements. So you have to, although yes, most don't have work experience yet, but at least you have to be able to relate some of your skill set or some of your basic knowledge to the kind of job that you are currently applying for. Okay. Next is prepare responses. How would you be able to prepare responses? As I've mentioned, you have to research common questions, because interviews usually have a common ground. Like um, interviewers assess people because they wanted to gauge the commitment. And common commitment questions would be, what are your short term and long term goals? How long would you stay with the company? So if you research those types of questions, you would also be able to prepare your responses. Best actually if you could practice it with someone that you are comfortable, or someone that would really test how you respond to a certain question. Like in my case, I usually work with my husband because I feel pressure when it comes to um, like doing interviews with him, because he usually ask me difficult questions. So it's like the feeling is like I'm going through a certain interview. So that's just one tip for you. Next is learn about common interview questions. So that's already I've already mentioned that one. Next is fix your posture. Again, 55% of the message that you send is through body language. So fix your posture. Prepare your outfit so that you'll know if you are comfortable enough in wearing it, or it's the best outfit that would fit the organization or the culture of the company. And of course, update your resume or curriculum vitae. If right now you were, as mentioned by the first speaker, if you were not considered on a certain job that you've applied to, maybe sooner or later, you would be able to be hired on that certain position. You just have to make sure that you update your resume and CV real time. And of course, bring your pen. Aside from the fact that there's a pandemic right now, it's best that you bring your pen so that anytime the job offer would be given to you on the spot, then you would be ready to sign it anytime. So that's the purpose of bringing your pen. So for my final tips first would be always smile. Again, you have to exude positivity during the interview. Second is prepare, dress well, research, etc., so that you would be able to answer questions or respond to questions well, and you would be able to bring confidence with you while you go through the interview. Or third here would be get on the same side as the interviewer. As simple as building rapport, like if the interviewer would ask you, "How are you doing?" Aside from answering or responding from the question, then it you could actually like go ahead and ask the interviewer as well. How about you? How are you doing? Or like agreeing, like nodding, like showing that you're listening and agreeing, or at a certain point during the interview, it's already one way to get on the same side as the interviewer. Okay. Next is body language. So for body language, again, correct your posture. And let me emphasize 55% of the message that you convey is through body language. Okay. If it's over the phone, then that's an advantage for you. You just have to focus on your intonation or the way you express yourself through your words. And that's actually the positive side of the current setup that we have with the pandemic. Most of the interviews are conducted over the phone, so um, the body language concern could be eliminated by candidates, so it could lessen their nervousness during the interview. So they just have to focus on like selling themselves during the interview. And of course, the fifth one would be maintain eye contact. So if you can't really look at the interviewer directly, like straightly in the eye, you could go ahead and look at the person here. It's between your forehead. So that's what I usually do before, whenever I feel intimidated or I don't feel that comfortable looking at the person in the eye. So it's as if you're already looking at the person in the eye if you look here. Okay. And of course, lastly, is close on a positive note. How do you close on a positive note? It's as simple as saying thank you for your time during the interview, or as simple as asking questions if ever the assessor or the interviewer would mention if you have any questions right after the interview has ended. So that's more of the final tips. Hopefully, the things I've mentioned were able to help you with how you prepare yourself in the future applications that you would be doing, and hopefully you would also consider VXI Global as one of the companies that you would be applying to sooner or later. So to close everything with a quote: a strong, positive self image is the best possible preparation for success. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. And I hope you have a great day. Keep safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Denise. So it's time for questions. So, ma'am, we have here one question from Miss Maria de Ramos Pastera. In terms of interview types, which is more commonly used right now, one-on-one or panel interviews?
Given that we with VXI Global we conduct over the phone interview, it's most of the time like one-on-one interview. We only do panel interviews if it's through Zoom or like Google Meets. But if it's over the phone, we normally do one-on-one only.
All right. So thank you for that, Miss Denise. Ma'am, second question. What vacancies do you have for fresh grads who are based in Davao, and can you invite them po to apply in XI?
I'm sorry, I wasn't able to hear that one clearly.
I'm sorry, ma'am. What are the vacancies for openings for fresh grads or for people based in Davao? And maybe you can invite them to apply po at on your site po.
Okay, I see. Now, for the vacancies that we have openings for support position. However, it normally requires a job experience. So, what we could best offer would be for the agent hiring. So, we are hiring for all of the sites that we have SM Echelon, Felcre Centrale, and Delta site that's near Green Coffee Bahada. So if you prefer to apply on site, then you could simply go there and do walk in. No need to bring anything with you because we have the online application for you to create your resume. Or you could simply submit the resume online. I will be providing the link. You could just go ahead and input your resume there, and then just expect the call within the week. We would definitely contact you for the next step of your application.
All right, so thank you for that, Miss Denise. All right, so to everyone, if you have no more questions, we'd like to invite you to apply online at VXI Global. The link for their site is jobsranking.com/VXI. Yeah. So, Miss Denise, again, we thank you for being with us this afternoon. We hope to have you in future sessions as well, ma'am, for other schools naman po. So, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
Have
you,
a great
ma'am.
day,
Stay
everyone.
safe po.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Bye.
All right. Thank you po, ma'am. All right. So for our, sorry, before we proceed to our third topic, I'd like to answer a question from Miss Maria Dora Escaler Rugon. So will you be notified if at least a certain company is viewing or reading your resume? Thanks. Hi, Miss Maria Dora. So for the resume link, you won't be notified, but you can see the process, you can see the progress of your application. So for example, on your dashboard, an employer has screened your application, so the tagging will be, the status will be in process or shortlisted or for interview, ganyan. So you won't be notified per se, like we will be sending you an email. No, you will have to base on your dashboard. Yeah. So you will have to open your account, and then on your dashboard you will see the companies that you have submitted it to, and then kung ano yung status ng applications nyo sa kada isang company na yun. Alright? So, that's it. So, for our third and last topic, our presenter is Sir Paulo Bayangos. He is the campus Relations Officer for Optum Global Solutions. And Sir Paulo is a Human Resource Management graduate from De La Salle College of St. Benilde with 5 years in experience in the recruitment field, and currently he is the campus relations officer for Optum Global Solutions that's based in Manila. So, hi Sir Paulo, if you're there, please join us po. Hi sir, good
Hello.
afternoon.
Yes,
Hi
good
sir.
afternoon. I hope that you can hear me clearly.
Yes, sir, we can hear you po. Sir,
All right.
so for today, we are joined by students of Ateneo de Davao University. So they are on asynchronous classes, so not a lot of them are here with us this afternoon, but they can rewatch the event on their own convenient time. Ayan. So, sir,
All right.
can we start sharing your screen po?
Can you see
Ayan,
my
sir. Loading
screen?
na po sa sir. Yes,
Right.
sir. Sir, okay na po siya. So, sir, you know the drill. I'll be back in 20 minutes for the question and answer portion po. So, sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you for that, Shari. Okay, so first of all, again, good afternoon to everyone who's watching this live stream. Just to introduce to you what we are, and Optum Global Solutions is a CPO, or is a healthcare provider company currently functioning as a CPO, or clinical process outsourcing, here in the Philippines. Okay, so I'll try to expound that later. But for now, so just to formally introduce myself, again, my name is Paulo Bayangos, current campus relations officer for Optum. Okay, so more on about me, a little background of what I do. I used to play soccer way back elementary and high school, and I still get the chance to play with my colleagues if there's going to be time, like if there's going to be free time during the weekends, okay, or if there are going to be holidays that would permit us to play actually. So there are quite a lot of open fields way back before ECQ happened. So yeah, we used to play every weekend. Okay, next is I am a Hallyu enthusiast. Okay, so for those of you who are not familiar with the Hallyu, this is the Korean wave. Okay, so yes, I'm into K-pop. Okay, not actually just K-pop, but everything or every genre within the K culture, or K music. Okay, and of course, aside from listening to K music, there's K food, and then of course some of it would be the K fashion. So, well, as you know, it's hotter here. It's more humid here in the Philippines. So I think some of the fashion for or Korean fashion is not really made to be worn here in the Philippines. Okay. Next is for the past 3 years now, I've been a boss volunteer. That's Philippine Animal Welfare Society. So every time that there would be disasters that would be happening, especially here in the Metro Manila, I would be looking for a time for me to volunteer into one of those rescue operations to, well, give a hand to most of the rescuers or the volunteers to give a hand to our four-legged friends, mostly the pets that we have. Okay, so enough about me. Just to share with you a little more about what Optum is. So sharing with you the facts that I have here with me. So we are part of the Forbes Fortune 500 company. If you're familiar with the Forbes Fortune 500, those are the top organizations in terms of revenue and quality, just like Apple, Microsoft, and so on. Okay, so as of right now, we are currently at rank 7. Okay, and approximately 200,000 employees worldwide with over 20,000 here in the Philippines. This is as of 2020 data. 113 billion annual revenue. That's for 2019 data. And we serve 124 million individual members, okay, across 150 countries. Okay, so again, being a healthcare provider company, we touch nearly every aspect of healthcare, financing, delivery, and not just that, but we innovate anything that has something to do with healthcare. Okay, so next, our mission is to help people live healthier lives and to help make the health system work better for everyone. Okay, so just like what with what I'm going to discuss with you today, okay, it actually has something to do with our mission. Okay, even though there's the pandemic that's going on right now, but more into that later. So within our values: integrity, compassion, relationship, innovation, and performance. Okay, so Optum is actually a promoter of diversity and inclusion, so that we treat everyone as an equal, no matter what gender or what race or any other diversity or inclusion groups that you are a part of. You are welcome in Optum. Okay. So again, here in the Philippines, functioning as a CPO, consulting technology and process solutions. So we have our very first site in Taguig. That's going to be in Makindi Hill, Taguig. And then the second site is actually in Cebu. Okay. As of right now, we have two buildings in Cebu. One is in Calix and Calix, and one is in Philinvest. And then the third one would be in Quezon City, here in Metro Manila. And the last one, the newest one, and where the expansion is actually happening right now, mostly would be in Alabang. Okay, so in Alabang, we have three buildings already, and it will be expanding still for the next few years to come. Okay, so what do we offer here in Optum, or what are the positions that we're currently hiring for? So the hiring areas that we have, one is in technology. Again, for those of you who are not familiar, but we are actually prominent in technology as well, only second to one of the most recognized names within the IT space. Okay, so positions that we offer has something to do with analytics, automation, information security, and data science. Okay, so customer next is customer service. For customer service, this is not your ordinary order taking or booking of flights. So again, everything that we do is related to the healthcare field. Okay, so more on being a bridge to our members and providers. So these are um, the members, these are the healthcare or health insurance holders that we have, And the provider means that these are the hospitals who would be catering to them. Okay, and then for the next hiring area, there would be clinical. Now, for clinical, we hire registered nurses, USRNs, medical coders, so more on practicing your profession, but this time it's not going to be within the clinical field or a hospital setting, but you're going to do everything inside an office. Okay, so just imagine doing your job as a nurse, but you're doing it inside an office instead of doing it within a hospital. Okay, and the very last one being an organization itself, of course, we have our shared services hiring area. Okay, so as of right now, we're currently hiring for leadership roles. Okay, so before I proceed to my discussion, I just wanted to share with you our COVID response for the current threat that the current threat that we're facing right now, which is the COVID-19. So I'm actually happy to be part of Optum for the fact that our leaders reacted so fast when it comes to the wake of the pandemic here in the Philippines. So just to share a few bullets with you, we are employing and paying full wages for our entire workforce. I'm happy to share that we did not let go of anyone within Optum for across all geographies that we're currently in. So business continuity plans and clinical safety protocols are engaged. So if ever that somebody is going to the office to report to work, again, safety protocols are engaged and fully observed. So we shifted to a virtual hiring process and to most of our operations as well to protect our candidates and employees. 90% of our non-clinical workforce was transitioned to work at home. That would be including my team, while maintaining all service levels. So our company made sure, or Optum made sure, that we can do our jobs um, as comfortable and as efficient as we can while working from home. And then additionally donated an additional 10 million to fight the pandemic in Brazil, Chile, Colombia, India, Ireland, Peru, and in Portugal. Okay, so off to what I was going to discuss with you, the new normal work environment. Okay, so more or less, I'm just giving you expectations, what to expect, or survival tips on work on a work from home setup, because this is going to be your new normal once you get your first jobs, or for some of you, if you're going to um, look for another job and get hired within a different industry and so on. Okay, so there are just two choices that you have right now. It's either that you work from home or you work within the office. Okay, but technically working in the office, it's not that the same anymore, because expect that if ever that you're going to work within the office, there's just you. Okay, and mostly who you're going to be with are the security guards and whoever cannot work from home, or who will be having challenges working from home, such as yourself. Okay, so if there won't be challenges working from home, then most likely that would be your new normal. Okay, so based on the article that I've read earlier, says here that 2021 and beyond should be the years when we normalize things that during 2020 we were obliged to do. From here on, from here on in, it will be employers who decide whether to be proactive and learn from the experience of last year, or be reactive and return to the past. Okay, so that just means that as employers, if we don't adapt to what's happening right now, it's going to be um, experiencing these mistakes, these transitions, the issue all over again. It's going to be the same issues. We're just going to be within that kind of loop. Okay. Okay, so again, I'll be discussing with you what to expect, and of course, survival tips on the new normal working environment. Okay, so number one is frequent communication. Now, I chose this to be number one because unlike working within an office environment, you get to be um, physically present within the office. You get to face each other. You get to talk face to face with each other, and communication is not that hard. Okay, but within the new normal, working from home, frequent communication is actually needed for you in order for you to be productive. Okay, especially for those jobs who's going to be people dependent, like for example you're working within a team and you can't do your process if a specific process has not yet been started. Okay, then there would be a problem if you guys don't have any communication at all. Okay, now it doesn't always it doesn't have to do always something with work, but frequent communication also applies to getting to know new team members, or just to say hi or hello. Okay, just to ask your colleagues how they are doing. Okay, so trust me, frequent communication, it's it's a kind of it's kind of a reliever for me actually. Okay, whenever I get to talk to one of my colleagues, and during our work breaks or our lunch breaks, I still get to talk to them through the use of social media, to the use of cell phones, send them a text message, or if I have to call them through to a Viber call or a video call or just simply a phone call, okay, then it would be much better. Next is attendance is still a must. Okay, so for most of us here who's going to be looking for a job soon, um, attendance is still a must once you have this job. Okay, we still have to follow our shift schedules, especially now that we are currently working from home. I don't think that there would be any challenges informing your managers or your supervisors that you are already logged in within your shift, and it's just easy to communicate with them if you're facing a problem or you're having challenges with connecting to the internet and so on, and that would be your reason for being late. Okay, that could be understood with your managers or supervisors, because it's not only you who's going to report their attendance to them. Of course, our managers, our leaders will have to report to their superiors as well, in order for the whole organization to stay put. Okay, just for them to make sure that everything is fine. Okay, you are reporting your attendance, you're communicating your attendance, okay, to let you know, or to let your managers and supervisors know that everything is fine within your part of work that you're currently doing. Okay, next, freedom comes with responsibility. Okay, so once you start working from home, it doesn't mean that, well, technically you're free. You're free to do everything that you want, how you want to do your work, and when you want to do your work. But always remember that there's going to be responsibility for each and every action that you would do. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you can do anything that you want. It means that you also have your responsibility to your work, because technically you're still employed within the company. They're still paying you the job that you signed with them through the contract, and that's what they are expecting you to do. Again, it will be up to you on how are you going to um, work on it, or how are you going to achieve be productive within the day. Okay. Next is respect your workspace. Okay. Just like how you did respect your workspace during your work within your office or during your internship. Okay. It's going to be the same even though if it's going to be in your house. Okay. Working from home, keeping a work clean station. Um, that would be boosting your productivity. Okay, for sure, many of us would like to work in a peaceful, clean, tidy manner. Okay, and so as for us to avoid distractions as well. Next is accept the unwanted. Now, what do I mean by unwanted? Okay, so unwanted, these are the background noises or the unexpected interactions with your parents, your family, or whoever lives within your house, even maybe with some of your pets. Okay, these are all unavoidable. Okay, so if ever that you'll be in a meeting or you'll be in a call and then you would be hearing dogs barking or some of your family members talking to each other, that is completely normal. I mean, for sure, your managers, um, your supervisors will understand that you are not the only one who's living within your house. Okay? And you might experience it with a colleague of yours or maybe your manager or supervisor as well, that sometimes you would hear background noises during their at their end of the video and so on, and that's completely normal. Okay, again, everything that is unwanted, okay, unexpected interactions, dogs barking, family members talking, these are all acceptable. Okay, again, you are not the only ones living within your house, so you have to share your space, and we do have to understand that we are working from home and this is unavoidable. Okay. Next is always be prepared. Now, if you have a scheduled meeting, let's say within the afternoon or within the morning, okay, um, or safe to say there would be unexpected meetings to come or to be scheduled with you, let's say by one of your colleagues and one of your supervisors. If you really have to open your camera for that meeting, then again, always be prepared. Okay, working from home doesn't give you the excuse that you cannot prepare yourself, okay, in order for you to look professional in the camera. Okay, again, don't make working from home a reason for you not to pamper yourself up or not to fix yourself up in order for you to present yourself. At least there's still professionalism that's being projected when you are prepared. Okay. Next is learn to balance everything. Okay. So working from home, with my experiences as well, this is going to be um, it's been a tough experience for me actually, because this is that time that actually career and personal life are mixing together. Okay, so being within my house and then doing my job at the same time, of course, sometimes my parents would ask me to run some errands and so on, and some errands on my own as well while doing the job that the job that I'm currently employed for. Okay, so these are somehow unavoidable circumstances that would be um, that might be coming your way once you get employed. Okay, but again, practice makes perfect. Okay, you will you will eventually learn how to balance things and work it just like how you do it within the office. Okay, and okay, so doing it within the office with your home bringing it to you within the office. So I hope you get that metaphor. Okay. But it's just like mixing your everyday life now that you're here in the office. It's not just work that you have to attend to, because you are still part of your family within your home. And being within your home, okay, you are still responsible as a member of that family. Okay, you no longer have the reason or the immunity. Okay, so if ever that your parents would be asking you to do something for them, like an errand, you can't just tell them that, mommy, daddy, I have work to do. For sure, they would understand if you're in a meeting right now or you have an important deliverable, but they would still expect you to deliver or to do the errand that they're expecting you to do. Okay, so next is, course, I think this is the last one. Time management is key. In order for you to balance everything, in order for you to be prepared with everything, in order for you to um, frequently communicate what's due to your managers and supervisors, time management is key. So learn everything that you have to do, okay, and be systematic with what you have to do. Okay. If you are going to schedule everything within a specific time frame, then there would be no problem for you doing everything and, of course, surviving the new normal working environment. Okay. The new normal will become much more natural as we learn how to manage our time better, creating a clear line between our personal and professional lives. All right, I think that's the end of my presentation. So, right now we are hiring healthcare advocates, patient and member services, and medical allied graduates. Medical allied graduates is our nurses, pharmacy graduates, and some other medical allied graduates like PT, physical therapy, and so on. So, if ever that you wanted to check more, you can visit our link below, work@optum.com, or of course, you can visit jobs jobs180.com/optum. I've actually posted everything there. Okay, and since I'm talking to students, or the audience would be within the Davao area. Um, Wait for us, Deborah. We're actually planning for something for you. So hopefully, once we go live, hopefully we'll be hearing from especially you who's tuning into this webinar right now. Okay, so if you'll be having questions for me, I posted my email here, so you can reach out to me through this email, and I'll be happy answering your questions whenever I receive one. Okay, that's
Thank you
it.
for that, Sir Pao. Ayan. So, sir, we have a question here from Ateneo Career Center and Alumni Hub. So, since online meetings are prevalent at this time, can you share some tips on how to deal with Zoom fatigue?
Hello, Shari.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Hello, sir. Sir, can you hear me, sir? Can you see me, sir?
Ayan. Oh, yeah, I can hear
Ayan.
you again.
Naririnig na ba ako, sir?
Yes, yes, I can hear you again now.
Can you see me, sir?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Ayan, sir. Sir, the question is flashed on our screen. Since online meetings are prevalent at this time, can you share some tips on how to deal with Zoom fatigue? This is from Ateneo Career Center and Alumni Hub. I think this is their administrator.
Zoom fatigue. All right. So, well, I would assume that you would be having a lot of scheduled Zoom meetings. Maybe not just within a day, but for the next forthcoming days, or the next day you already have another meeting. Oh, okay. So, well, again, we're not going to be within an office environment. Okay, so that's why we're just using this medium, or this platform, which is actually convenient for us to, well, to convene, even it's just a virtual space. Okay, now, yes, even when it comes to physical meetings, Tagalog, nakakapagod naman talaga. Okay, so I guess that you would be experiencing this on a Zoom meeting as well. Okay, so maybe one of the tips that I can provide you is, if it's going to be camera on, you can always ask your the meeting members, the other meeting members, if you can turn off your camera once in a while. I mean, for sure you've been within meetings with these people as well. Okay, and they are your colleagues. Most probably they already saw you from your when you're still working within the office. So I don't think that they would be having any problems when it comes to that. Okay, and if turning off the camera won't be the cut for you, you can always ask for a schedule of the meeting. Okay. I do think that they would understand if you would be telling them that they're already tired, they just came on from another meeting. Okay. But again, you have to prepare yourself, because if ever that you'd be moving up within your company, most of the time you would be within meetings, especially when you are already within a managerial role. Okay. That's the only thing that they're paying me for. You're going to think. They're paying you to think. And how are you going to think? Of course, it's going to be within meetings because you're going to share your plans and everything to them. Okay, so just be prepared. Be prepared on how to handle, for example, whole day meetings or half day meetings for a start. It's going to happen soon. Okay.
Thank you for that, Sir Pao. If I may share, so kapag ako, sir, from Ateneo Career Hub, when I'm doing a full day of meetings, I try to make sure that I log out on time. Like I have to stop myself from working any more further than 5:30 or 6 o'clock ganyan. So that for me keeps me mentally stable and mentally relaxed, no? So I need to stop working. So yun yung advice na pwede nating ma-share dun sa ating mga students na pagod din mag-online classes. So
Yeah.
give yourself some break. Yan. So kailangan lang ng pahinga, hindi masama magpahinga. Ayan. So Sir Pao, again, thank you for being with us this afternoon po. And thank you din sir dun sa mga vacancies na nabanggit niyo po a while ago. So helpful po yan sa mga students natin. And sir, we are excited for the things that you're planning for Davao. We hope na ano sir,
Yes.
mag-materialize soon. Na
It
with
will.
the
It will
pandemic, mas
soon.
mabilis siya. We don't know. Pero sana, we just hope na mas mabilis siya magawa. Alright, so thank you, Sir Pao. If you guys have no more questions, if you have, kung meron kayong inquiries for Sir Pao, you can check their site. It's jobsnairobi.com/optum. So, dun nyo makikita yung mga contact us nila. Yun. So, kung meron pa kayong further questions, pwede rin sa facebook.com/jobs180. Yun naman yung sa amin. So, pwede namin kayo i-direct na lang sa kanila if ever. Alright? So, thank you again, Sir Pao. We hope to have you in more schools po, more sessions in the future, sir.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Pao. Have a great day po. Ayan, ayan. So to officially close our session, may we ask for Sir Norman Lou Espadilla, RGC Career Center Officer for Ateneo Career Center and Alumni Hub of Ateneo de Davao University to officially close today's event. Answer.
All right,
Hi,
so hello everyone. So good afternoon once again. So before we close this webinar and before we officially close this webinar, first I would like to thank Jobs 180 for delivering this really great webinar for this afternoon. And I would like to thank the speakers for their valuable insights, especially on resume making, how to ace the interview, and most specifically on how the world of work has changed in this new normal. And I also hope that everyone learned a lot from what our speakers had to say and share here. So we can see that indeed a lot of changes has taken place, especially in employment and work. And as a higher educational institution, Ateneo has to help equip you, our students and alumni, in adjusting to these changes. And now with hiring mostly being done online, we need to have a powerful platform that can help cater to this need. And for us also, and for you, our students, to gain an advantage over everyone else. So thus it is with great pride and joy that I now formally announce the partnership between Ateneo de Davao University and Jobs180.com through the Ateneo Career Center and Alumni Hub. So with this partnership, we are now opening up the entire Ateneo community to a host of opportunities brought to us by Jobs180.com's employment platform and their resume link, which makes it easier for our students and employers to connect with each other. Not only that, we also have access to their various training materials, which will only add to the employability of our stakeholders. Now, this event this afternoon cements that partnership that we have. But to further cement and solidify this partnership, I would also like to announce that 1 month from now, on April 22, we will be holding another virtual job fair. This time it is powered by jobs180.com. So if you're interested in joining this event, please go to schools.jobs180.com/ADDU and start signing up and using resume link. And I invite everyone else to go to that link to get more details of this partnership. So indeed, there are a lot of changes because of the pandemic, but that doesn't mean also that we in the Career Center and the College Guidance Center, that we are just standing idly by. And while the pandemic has brought a lot of uncertainty, what's certain right now is that we in the Ateneo Career Center and Alumni Hub will continue to serve and bring you opportunities like this but are otherwise beyond your reach. So big and exciting things are ahead for us, okay? As we continue in our commitment to help you in building your careers and shaping your lives. So once again, thank you very much. Have a good afternoon, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the day. See you.
Thank you for that, Sir Norman. Ayan. Thank you, sir. We are also happy with this partnership po. And we will announce more details soon. Ayan. So, guys, thank you to everyone who tuned in. And please fill out the evaluation form. It's flashed on our screen. So that's the link. So make sure to finish that evaluation form because that will serve as your attendance for this event. Ayan. So, please watch out for the next set of webinars that we are hosting. For tomorrow, I think we have USTP and CDO. We have Vayati University and Lyceum Northwestern University in Pangasinan. That will be this week. So if you want to check out the topics that will be discussed in those sessions, you can visit facebook.com/jobs&et. All right. So we would like to thank CEO Group for being one of our corporate sponsors for this event. So you check out the CEO store in Lazada and Shopee or at the nearest mall in your area to shop for your corporate needs. So for career opportunities, please visit jobsandita.com/CEO Group. Ayan. So, konting plug lang. So, thank you guys. Have a great day and stay safe. So, bye!